All right, so today we're doing 1.6 Python for transformations. So we're going to use transformations to write the equations of graphs and then to draw familiar functions we already know. So a quick review, you should know this already, but if we have y equals f of x plus c, we want to know what does that plus c do? That is going to move your function up c units. And then your minus c would go down c units. As a side note, anything vertical, so like these two, are going to affect your whole function. You add it on to outside of the function. So it affects the whole function. And anything horizontal is just going to affect the x. So it's going to be inside this parenthesis right there. So if we're doing horizontal shifts, here it is inside the parenthesis. If we subtract c, you're going to go right c. If you add c, you go left c. So remember again, x is always weird. It's a little bit opposite what you think it would be. Reflecting graphs. So here, if we're going to decide is this horizontal or vertical, think of where the negative is. It's on the outside of the function, not with the x. So this is going to be a vertical flip. And think of this, you want vertical motion. So if this is your line, you're flipping vertically. You want vertical motion, so you're flipping over the x-axis. This would then be a horizontal flip because the x is inside, or the negative is inside with the x. And then you want horizontal motion, so we're flipping this direction over the y-axis. Quick review. Here's some examples. So we have this function, and I'm going to scribble this out right here. So we want to write the function. So you want to decide, well, what is this to begin with? What does it look like? Is it an x squared? Is it an x cubed? Go back to your 12 basic functions from 1.3. This is an x cubed basic function. And then if we look here, this would normally be at 0, 0, but we're way over here. So to go to the right 5, we had to subtract 5. So we went right 5, and then we went up 1. So if we write this, we have this x cubed, and inside with the x, we want to go right 5, so we're going to subtract 5, and then we're going to go up 1. And that then is what the answer is. So same idea here. What does this function look like originally? It's kind of like a 1 over x function, but 1 over x is normally here and here. So we're a little bit different. You could either have flipped vertically like this and have a negative out front, or you could flip vertically like this and have a negative on the inside, and it's going to give you the same thing. But our center point now is up 3. So this function would be negative 1 over x plus 3, because you went up. And that would be the answer. The last example here is graphing it. So I like to do it in stages and kind of follow like an order of operations idea. It's up to you what you want to do. So you can either just go through the steps in your head and graph once, or you can do a bunch of different steps like I'm going to show you, and then just label your final answer. So I'm going to graph the original first in black. I switch to black, so say this is going to be our original, if my iPad will write correctly. So if we graph the original, which is going to be like a square root of x, is our basic function. We're going to start at 0. At 1, we'll be at 1. At 4, we're going to be at 2. And at 9, we'll be at 3. So this is your original square root of x function. And now if we're looking at this doing order of operations, We want to then do the vertical flip next. You could do like inside the parentheses and do this left one first. That one doesn't really matter which of those you do first, but you don't want to do the +3 first. So I'm going to do this flip right here. So we do a vertical flip. So flip over the y-axis. So this would stay here. We're going to flip this one down. This is going to go 2 down to flip and 3 down. So this is our vertical flip. Now I'm going to go left 1. So go left 1, left 1, left 1, left 1. And then the last step will be to go up 3. So this will go up 1, 2, 3. Up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And up 1, 2, 3. And then that green is your final answer. So make sure you label it somehow so you know what that is. This is your final answer. You could also erase all the rest if you wanted to, but I like to do it in stages like that. So kind of follow order operations, do each step at a time. Your homework is worksheet 1.6.1, so you can go on Schoology and do that.